welcome back to Troy Story, a podcast for the Collar City, for this special bonus segment from our interview with Chris Nolin, former Troy Deputy Mayor. Sometimes interviews can run long and we can't fit everything into a single chapter, so this is a special extended clip about HBO's The Gilded Age that was cut for time from Chapter 1. Before we get to the good stuff, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who tuned in for the first chapter. The response has been absolutely overwhelming, and I'm genuinely humbled by the emails, the texts, the calls, and the messages I've received since Chapter 1 was released. This project has been a labor of love, and I'm just thrilled at how many people have enjoyed this show so far. So, in this bonus clip, we get into HBO's multi-year production for The Gilded Age, which was based here in Troy, and the incredible transformation the city underwent for the show to stand in for late 1800s New York City. We posted some photos over on TroyStoryPod.com from the show's takeover of Monument Square and other historic buildings around Troy. Just a quick request, small independent podcasts like ours thrive on word of mouth. So if you like the show, please subscribe, give us a review on Apple Podcasts, and most importantly, please share the show with someone who you think might enjoy it. More information is available at TroyStoryPod.com. All right, let's jump into the bonus stuff. One of the most, I think, exciting things that's happened in the city of Troy during the last 3 or 4 years, I'm trying to remember going back to the pandemic, if I remember correctly, is film and television projects, big and small, but the biggest obviously being The Gilded Age, HBO's The Gilded Age, who came to the city of Troy to film their first and second seasons. Really incredible to see the city of Troy on display. Like, you weren't here, you weren't deputy mayor, you were here in the city, but you weren't deputy mayor for season one. But obviously you were for season 2 and the logistics of managing this sort of like multi-site, hundreds plus member film production happening in the city of Troy simultaneously. First off, what was that experience like? And then 2, what's your sort of take on Troy being featured so prominently, 1, in the Gilded Age, but just 2 broadly in general, just people film and television productions looking at Troy as a place to film?
So, I mean, there is an incredible amount of logistics that goes behind bringing an entity of the stature of HBO in the Gilded Age to the city of Troy. That said, how did they get here, though? That's the really interesting part. And what a lot of people don't realize is it has been a drumbeat of interest in what the city of Troy has, the essence, how special we are. It gets back to Troy has it, right? And what we're trying to tell people with the tourism area. We have the architecture here. We have the people. HBO could go to another city with architecture. What they don't have is the people. What HBO loves in my conversations with them, we've got a fantastic city government that's very responsive to their needs, etc. You have a business community that supports them, but we're also so welcoming to them into our neighborhoods and into our community. Yes, there is an inconvenience that comes with having a filming of that size here in the city. But there are ancillary benefits beyond even just that people see the city of Troy on TV, that within the film industry, they talk to each other. And what they hear is, oh, you have to go check out the architecture in Troy. Oh, you need to, they're so great to deal with, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And what was really interesting for season 2 with me, and what you saw was that HBO branched out. So they did filming here in Troy. They also filmed in Cohoes, in Albany, and I think in Schenectady. They wanted to stay in Troy, though. So they did filming in those various locations, but where they went to go put their head down at the end of the night was in Troy, because they wanted the people that we have here in the city. They wanted the walkable community, and they like this feel, right? This essence of Troy that we have here. That's what's so special about our community. And that will help to bring them back for years to come, right? Or different film outfits to come back to the city of Troy. And I was involved even in my prior role back at RPI, film crews wanted to come see the architecture. They want to use the old buildings that are up at the university. They want to use the buildings at Russell Sage. They want to, HBO wants to look at the library building, right? You have fantastic historic architecture here in concert with the people we have.
Inside and out.
Inside and out. That's very true, right?
When my wife and we watched the show, I think I drive her crazy because I'm like, oh, that's a library.
That building.
That's
yes.
a library there. She's just like, oh God.
I do
like,
the same thing.
Oh, that's the courthouse. That's outside the courthouse.
And it's amazing the magic that happens behind the scenes
Totally.
to make all these different pieces come together and look like a completely different area. But you can recognize the different spots in the city of Troy. It's a point of pride for everybody, right? To have the Troy featured so highly, and now what is going to be a 3-season plus more show.
Yeah, I know. We
just got renewed.
Season 2 ended. I said, "Gosh, I hope they get season 3." I think I saw Kathy Sheehan, Rensselaer County, City of Troy, Kathy Sheehan, not Albany, Kathy Sheehan, our Kathy Sheehan, posting somewhere on Facebook saying, "Oh, I hope they get a season 3." And I think it was the next day they announced almost immediately that they got a season 3. And it's a great show. If you like Downton Abbey,
right.
It's the American, sort of version, I guess, if you call it. But it's great. It's fun to watch. It's really as the local to say, oh, that's so cool to see your city, especially season 1, because season 1 I think is
very prominent.
I mean for those who haven't watched the show or weren't aware of the production, season 1, the HBO took over Monument Square in one block in every direction,
down on the ground
for weeks.
Yes, exactly. It was a massive undertaking.
And I know it was an inconvenience for some businesses and some folks, but the larger effort itself, it really was so cool to see Troy permanently immortalized in that show in that way, and to see it in person, to walk the street, because that was the craziest part, is that it was essentially an open film set. You could just walk.
Yeah, you could just walk right through.
And they filmed, I think, mostly at night for some of those shots. But it was weird just to go down on your lunch break, because City Hall's not too far from downtown if you walk along the river. And it was wild just to walk this film set, and all of the facades of the buildings had been transformed, and they had new signage and, like a barbershop and this, sterling silver and all these different things and the horses and the carriages. It was really wild. And that you could still go inside the actual businesses that were still there, because they were still open during the day. You could go in, even though their windows may have been transformed. I think that was really cool. I have some really cool pictures from their production.
I was actually for season 1 down at a friend's for their birthday on 2nd Street. And next thing you know, you heard the horses out front.
Clip-clopping.
So, yep, clip-clop, clip-clop. And we all went outside and sat on the stoop. Finally, they had to come out, and they're like, can you go inside, please? Because we're going to do the shoot now.
Yeah.
But it was so, like, what's that noise? Oh, well, that's the horses from the Gilded Age coming through for them to do their shot. That's actually probably one of the regrets, but I was really looking forward. We kind of worked through the kinks the first year with the Gilded Age and the HBO. The city did. My first year, season 2. I was really looking forward to welcoming them back for season 3. But hey, maybe I can be an extra for season 3. Who knows?
Just break out your great grandpa's old clothes and bring it down. They'll suit you up and they'll put you on the street. Though I think you probably need to grow a bigger beard, probably based on the current show.
I think I'll end up just watching, but that's okay.
Probably easier that way.
Yeah.
Thanks again for listening. Don't forget to check out the full episode of Chapter 1, available wherever you get your podcasts. Hit that subscribe button on whatever streaming service you're using to hear the show to make sure you get notified about upcoming chapters. You can also find out more at troystorypod.com. And remember, love yourself, love one another, and may pod save Troy.